What's going on, people? Come in with some questions. This isn't going to be a long session either. But I did want to say hi to y'all. So forgive me. Everybody, come on. To have a real good time. Guys, you have any questions so far? Depending on the questions is how long I'll go today, basically. But I've been getting a lot of reach outs and contacts through my email, which means people are going on my website. Yes, so hold on. Yeah, people are reaching out to me through the email, which means they're going to my website. So we've got the marketing thing going down in 2 months from yesterday. So this should be a good time. But got some people in the chat, and where do you guys want to go today? Should I talk about anything in specific, or what do you guys think? I mentioned to you guys that I was on Facebook, right? I mentioned to you guys that I was on Facebook and I shared something, and I'm showing you what I shared. I shared this on Facebook and I said, this is Mother Mary. She's the vagina. She's the virgin. She's the divine woman. And you're talking about Mary, and it's not just Mary, because there's three Marys. There's Mary Magdalene, there's Mother Mary, and his Aunt Mary of Clopas. So there's three Marys in there. You have Isis, Mary, that's another Mary. You have Mare. It all starts with an M. That's why the Virgo glyph is an M with a Jesus fish attached to it. So I got a question. Here we go. Ben, I finally caught alive. What up, Micah? Many blessings, positive vibes being sent your way. Heart. So with that said, do you find it appropriate? Continue typing, sir. Ben, I'd like to hear your question. But my point was simply this, is that Isis Mary, Mare, Madre, Mère in French, all the Romance languages, it all starts with an M. The M with the Jesus fish on it. That's the Virgo glyph. Anyway, I posted this on Facebook. As you can clearly see what Mary is. These are all different pictures of Mary. And you know what Facebook did? They restricted my account and they banned me for a week because they said that I was posting porn, which I found freaking hysterical, considering these are actual paintings of Mother Mary, but their porn bot flags this for porn. So that should just tell you guys something right off the bat, don't you think? So Ben, what's your question, man? And thank you for the positive influence and messages. I appreciate that, sir. So what else can we go over while we're waiting? I don't usually talk about this particular part in when I do my presentation, guys, but I'm going to mention this to you real quick. So the mention of magnetism. Walter Russell talks about everything, and I mean everything, being electromagnetic. Electric radiates and magnetism receives. The sun is electric, the male energy, and the moon radiates the female energy. The female cycle is a 28-day cycle times 13, just like the moon cycles. The moon controls the tide of the ocean, and we're 70 to 95% water. It's crazy to think it doesn't affect you. So because the sun is male and electric, this is why the male orgasm feels like a jolt of electricity going through your body, whereas the female orgasm, the moon affects the tides of the water. The female orgasm feels like a wave they can ride over and over again. Women are multi-orgasmic, and it feels like a wave they can ride. Now, I've never experienced sex as a woman, but I have been told this is accurate. So if you guys want to jump in on that one, please let me know. But that's basically my thought process. We are clearly made differently in the eyes of the Creator. Here we go. Sorry, to say blessings instead of positives, vibes, or energy. Is it odd for me to wish blessings? That's on the religious side. So trying the best way to say prayers to you. No, just positive vibes, man. I know that sounds so hippie, right? Positive vibes, but truly, positive intentions do mean a lot. Oh, most people don't get upset when you say praying for you. The thing about prayer for religious people is when a religious person prays for you, they're praying to an entity outside of them. They're praying to Jesus or they're praying to God. Whereas more spiritual people, sorry. So religious people pray to the outside, the exterior, where spiritual people know they could talk to their higher self from within if you build that relationship up. So if you're wishing blessings or positivity, I should say, Ben, on anyone, there is no need to worry if you feel offended. People can take it's only the true assholes, like those atheists out there, I don't believe in God, or who say things when you say blessings and prayers to them, fuck them. I welcome any positive, loving energy that comes my way. So that's me. So that's the religious, pray outside, the spiritual, pray from within. And that's not just some robo new age talk. You can, with the pineal gland, reach your higher self. Some people are more in tune than others. Some people will never believe this is possible either. Everyone's on a different stage in this weird prison cell we're in. But yeah. So you're welcome, Ben. So guys, come on with the questions. It's Friday. Let's have some fun. If anybody wants to come up, and I tried to do this last time, but we had computer issues. But any of you in the chat or any of you in there want to come up and ask questions directly, I could bring you on live. I like when people do that. I really do. But yeah, there's the stream, guys. So if I see a little box pop up down there with someone in it, I'm going to invite them on. So what are we talking about? Well, we did magneticism. I found something that was very interesting, guys, that I wanted to share you. It was about the book of Job. There it is. Let's share this bad boy again. Let's talk about the book of Job real quick, guys. I'm always looking for the perfect scripture or the perfect set of words every time I look at an ancient holy text, just to give you guys a little insight into what I do. I always look for the patterns and the connections, and they're not always complete. Job 38:32, Job being the oldest book in the Bible, is actually the closest I have found. Before this, it was Gilgamesh. But in Job 38:32, you have 11 of the 12 zodiac signs. In Job 38:32, this is when God says, can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? Can you loosen Orion's belt? And I've gone through all that. Well, Job is the oldest book in the Bible, and there's no debating that. And there's actually 11 out of the 12 signs in here, and the one that's missing is Libra. And I'm wondering if this is if that's because God is the judgment. Maybe God is Libra in this story. God is the judgment upon this story, whereas all the other ones are actually embedded in here. I've never found a scripture or a verse that had all 12. I've gotten close, but I've never actually found a complete one. But 11 out of 12, you have to admit. If you find 11 zodiac signs in one passage, you have to admit something's there. So I got a decent amount of people in here for 10:30 in the morning on a Friday, but I'd like more questions, to be honest. While you're doing that, I'll still kind of look and pick and see if I could find some stuff we could talk about. I found some stuff. Guys, when you start to understand these esoteric sciences, things open up for you. Like, for instance, you guys have seen this before, but you probably don't know what it is unless you've seen this. So let me go back to it real quick, because if I were to... So this is Ezekiel's vision at 30 years old of God. A couple of things. Notice Ezekiel just chilling here. Now, exactly to the right of it, you'll see this thing. This is a four-headed animal. It's the lion in the front. It's the bull on the side. It's the eagle in the back. And it is the sign of the man on the right. These are the four fixed signs of the zodiac. Revelation 4:7, which I'll show you in 2 seconds. But this is the zodiac here on the right. This is what it's being shown. And you'll see God in the sun, because that's what God represented. That's what the sun represented. The sun represented the... People aren't just worshiping the sun, guys, because it's hot. That's not what they were doing. They, aside from the understanding of the plasma energy and the physics that go into it, how it gives life, the sun is a life giver. It comes up in the spring, and suddenly it rains, and we have plants and food and all sorts of stuff. It was the life giver. You could see during the day, but you couldn't see at night. And we're so far removed from all this kind of stuff to realize, for example, that this is how the natural cycle should have been. This is how life should have been. You should have been able to look up into the stars without any light or pollution or smog or anything and see all the stars like the ancients used to. And then things would dance and move up there, and they'd be like, oh, he's doing this, and he's doing this, and he stepped on him, and he did this. And they would tell stories to their kids. And then that became the basis for the astrotheology that's in through the Bible. The sun, it goes down at night, and then it comes back up in the morning. We can see it keeps us warm. It keeps us alive. It had all the tenements of God. But anyway, so God is in the sun because that's how they understood God to be. Now look at this. This is a really, really crappy job here, but lion, bull, eagle, man. Okay? So now if we go to... Revelation 4:7. The first living creature was like a lion. Hello. An ox. A man. And the eagle. And you guys know from me that the eagle is the ascendant of Scorpio. And it just makes this pattern, Revelation 4:7 in the zodiac. But let me just see if I could find a couple more pictures to just talk to you guys about real quick. So it's important when I talk about this, guys, that we talk about hell also. Hell, Satan, Baphomet, Lucifer. For those of you who are new, hell is the flaming inferno. This is where your soul goes to burn for all eternity if you don't do well in this life, by whatever religious metric they put you up to. However, how do we detect pain, guys? It's with the nervous system, right? So let me ask you a question. When you die and you give up your body, including your nervous system, how are you going to detect pain if you give that up? How are you going to burn as a spirit? Is fire a multi-dimensional entity? And even so, if you don't have your nerve endings, how the hell are you supposed to burn for all eternity? Now, guys, hell is actually winter on Earth. Hell is a real place. You ever see the sign for Hell, Michigan? When it's all frozen over, hell frozen over? The idea of a fiery pit where you burn for all eternity is ridiculous when you think about it. Logically, hell is actually winter on Earth. Why? Well, we were just talking about the glorious nature of the sun, right? But what is winter? It's cold. The vegetation and beautiful flowers and plants are dead. The trees shed their leaves and bear no fruit. It's freezing cold out. People tend to get sick more often. Dangerous animals, if they're not hibernating, are starving and scrounging for food. It's dangerous for humans. The Italian word for winter is inverno. Flip a letter, inferno, and pervert its meaning, and you get the concept of hell. This picture is Dante Alighieri's The Divine Comedy. Satan's in the bottom level of hell. What do you guys see? Does it look like it's on fire? No, there's not 1 ounce of fire, not 1 stitch of fire out there. This whole thing is frozen over. And the reasoning they give it, or Dante gives it in this story, is because, well, first of all, Satan is incorrect. Satan actually has 3 heads. But more than that, that's correct that he's frozen up to his waist. Because what happens is his wings are flapping so hard that anytime something starts to melt, it just refreezes over. It's kind of like how you insulate an igloo in a way. But anyway, Dante knew hell was winter. The Bible even says it. There will be gnashing of teeth. Well, when do you chatter your teeth, guys? In the cold or the heat? They try and tell you this stuff, but people aren't listening. So let me see if I can find a couple more pictures. We've seen this, right? This is Solomon's temple, right? Or a penis entering a vagina, as you can see here. I get in trouble when I show this one, guys, to be honest with you. People don't want to know about that. But let's see here. Hey, you guys see this little mosaic with 2 fish? There's a town in Israel called Megiddo, which a 3rd century church was found under another church. It's one of the oldest churches known to man. Its center of the floor is the mosaic of the 2 fish Pisces. And we even know who commissioned this this portrait. This mosaic. We know who commissioned the mosaic. This is from the 200s, guys. Early church, before Constantine. You see Pisces is the 2 fish. You guys see this? So you got Polaris, this is the North Star. You've got the angels. In this, you've got lambs, that's Aries. Bulls, that's Taurus. Camels, that's Camelopardalis, that's Gemini. Donkey, that's Acellus Borealis, that's Cancer. That's 4 signs in a row. The sun is behind Jesus' head. There's actually 7 signs in this picture, but I have to find the other ones too. But I will get back to that. I just want to see what's going on in the chat. I'm just trying to fill time. Have you put much thought? Oh, hold on. Rachel's here. Good day to you. I'm driving and listening. Thanks, girl. I really appreciate you. Brandon's here. Good morning. Hello. Have you put much thought into pre-post millennialism? There's another channel that talks about us living in Satan's little season. Do you think that could be true, or do you think that's almost all the Bible is just a story to sculpt public opinion and manipulate it? Yes. I always say the same thing after I go through my work and when I teach people. I always say the same thing. I say, what Occam's razor? What is more likely? What is more realistic? Knowing what I've shown you now in astrotheology, is it more likely that scripture is being fulfilled, or that the same people have been encoding these books the exact same way? They're still in charge, and they are the ones who are manipulating who are manipulating incidents in the world to make it seem like it could be interpreted by prophecy. People always say the same thing about the Bible. It's like, well, Jesus fulfilled 300 prophecies. I was like, yeah, but if I write a long enough story, I can make sure that I cover my bases on all that. Nothing is like this could not have happened kind of thing. I just find the whole thing really weird. People are so attached to this book and they don't know anything about it. I'm just here to listen while I work. I love you. I love you too, girl. Thanks, Mama. Green and white? I don't know who this is. Thank you. Do you teach much on human design? It's right up the astrology alley. I don't. There is anatomical astrology. There is. The head is Aries, and the neck is Taurus. And then as it continues to go down the zodiac, it keeps going down. Capricorn is the knees. That's why you have kneecaps. Pisces is the fish, in the water, the cold fish. That's why you get cold feet. Whereas Aries is the head, the god of war. You get hot-headed and cold feet, kneecaps. It's all there. They all talk about it there. It's there. I don't talk about it that deeply, but it definitely is there. I'm sure you've got something on it, but I think it aligns with Santos stuff too. Do you hear from him much? I hope he's doing well too. We don't really talk. We really don't. Once in a blue moon, I'll shoot him a question. He'll answer. I still look very much up to him, despite him tornadoing his YouTube channel and how angry he is lately. I try to remember that he's an Aries. He's actually 6 months to the day of me. We're 6 months apart. He's March 24th, and I'm September 26th. That's right across from each other. He's a good guy. He's just been messed around with a lot, and it gets to people. But he's Italian, he's Australian, and he's an Aries. What do you expect from him? I mean, you can just look at just the basic things. Like, I don't deal with things much the same way that he does, but I do have a lot of respect for him. I taught for him, and there was a lot of issues behind the scenes, but nonetheless, I just stayed there and I taught for him. But anyway, thank you for the question. So, guys, you got any more questions or so? I'll give it a couple more minutes, and that'll be it. You guys don't come at me with some questions. I'm gonna start going back to doing astrotheology work on these lives for a little bit. Um, I mean, yeah, I definitely have to get back to this book. Anyway, guys, so thank you for. Oh, there we go. I was about to go. Crystals, do you think they're legit, like protection aspects of shungite or amplifying it? Yeah, I'm not. I'm not humongous on crystals. I don't collect them for any reason, but they're 100% legit. Crystals are basically alive, guys. I don't know if you know this, but they vibrate at such a high frequency that it makes them seem solid. Talking about strings and everything. Crystals used to power Atlantis. They used to power Atlantis. Edgar Casey, in his talks about Atlantis, he would talk about how they overcharged the crystals. And by overcharging the crystals, they blew themselves up. Now, we're only now starting to rediscover that you can embed things like movies, pictures, things of that nature into crystals and retrieve them. Crystals are going to be the new. I mean, you think a terabyte drive holds a lot? Wait till you see what a crystal could do. These are the future. These were the past. And they're coming back. Crystals, absolutely. They try to show you this in Superman in the Cave of Crystals, right? When he's in there, they try and talk to you about crystals all the time. So yeah, they're very real, absolutely, and they do have energies. Sorry for hogging your question. Keep asking, Ben. No one else is. I'll give it a couple minutes. No, Ben, you rock. Just want to mention to you guys again that I have my books in. If you guys are looking to get signed series, I have my books in now. All you got to do is reach out to me on social media or email me. Just got here at the end of the day. What is wrong with promoting freedom and prosperity in society these days? How are you doing that, though? In which way? I hear to don't use crystals, get them out of your house. Sometimes it gets confusing. No, there's nothing wrong with crystals. You just have to understand their energies. That's it. Now, it's a little bit of work to do that, but it doesn't work like that. All right, guys. Well, love you guys very much. Maybe I'll be back. I'm going to be doing an interview soon too. This girl just emailed me. She's a sidereal astrologer. Very interesting conversation we'll have. So I'll talk to you guys soon.